Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Tri-County Logging. Experienced in sustainable forestry practices, Tri-County Logging can help you manage your property by keeping your woods healthy and generate income. Serving southern and mid-Michigan for nearly 50 years, TriCountyLogging.com.
Well, hey everybody, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We've got kind of a cool themed show this week, all about the ladies. We're going to start with a couple of high schoolers who have gotten into competitive bass fishing, another one that's into competitive shooting. We're going to show you a big lake tournament. It's always a ton of fun. And we even have time for a little bit of a bear hunt, as the bear season is only a few days away. We're going to show you what it looks like when a father and daughter hit the woods. So lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream. It's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988. Offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. By Greenmark Equipment. Greenmark Equipment is a John Deere dealership network in southwest Michigan and northern Indiana. Greenmark provides sales and services to farmers, commercial businesses, large property owners, and homeowners. Information about pricing and products available can be found online at greenmarkequipment.com.
By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Quest and Prime bows, manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan. G5 offers a line of archery bows, broadheads, and accessories on the web at g5outdoors.com.
This moment brought to you by DTE's Clean Vision.
Right now we're right outside of Lake Erie Metro Park on Lake Erie, and we're out here trying to catch some bass. Right now I'm using a drop shot, so hopefully we'll pull in some big ones. I first heard about my school's fishing team when I was a freshman. We have a thing called Prep Day, and basically you can go down into the gym and it has all the clubs and activities that you can do. So my dad spotted the fishing team booth and said, "Oh, Rebecca, you have to go over there." And I had been fishing with my dad ever since I was little, so I already knew most of the basics, and so I joined the fishing team, and it's definitely been a learning curve trying to learn how to bass fish for tournaments, but it's been really fun. When you're in a tournament, it's definitely a lot more stressful. And then you have to do everything yourself. You have to tie everything on and net all the fish yourself. And it's not just, oh, I'm going out for a fun afternoon with Dad anymore. It's more of a, all right, let's get this done and let's bring in some big fish.
One of the advantages to fishing in these tournaments is that it forces you to learn new bodies of water, something Rebecca has enjoyed over the last few years.
Most of the tournaments we do are up north and on the west side of the state, a lot of the inland lakes. We've been to Wampers Lake, Mullet and Burt Lake, Lake Charlevoix, and each time we go, we normally take like the whole weekend and go up there, rent a cabin or a hotel or whatnot, and it's almost like just a family vacation, but instead of just going out there for fun, we're going out there for a tournament. Which is also fun. And Normally we wouldn't go on those trips, we wouldn't try fishing on those lakes, so going and trying to fish on those lakes is definitely something fun and something that we wouldn't normally do.
After a couple of hours on the big lake, we decided to head into the Detroit River to try a few more spots. It was there where I was able to learn more about Rebecca's fishing partner, Kendall, and her path to tournament bass fishing.
Well, I had never fished in my life. My family doesn't fish, so I never had the opportunity to fish, but Rebecca, who has been one of my best friends for like a long time, she fishes, so I was like, hey, take me fishing one time. She was just like, well, I don't have a partner for a bass fishing team, so do you want to do that instead? And we can go out like every other weekend. And so I've just been doing that ever since last summer. I think tournament fishing is really fun. I like the competition. I like coming in with like our limit of bass. That's always a good feeling, and it's a good feeling to see the look on those boys' faces when we come in with all our fish.
There's not many female bass fishing teams around the state, and although these two anglers would like to see more of them, they don't mind being one of the few.
Yeah, there's definitely not a lot of women in the tournaments. There's one other all-girl team that we see from time to time, but it's mostly boys. So we really we don't talk to many people because they don't want to talk to us, which it has its ups and downs. But like I said, the feeling of coming in with all of our fish, knowing that we beat a lot of those boys, is a good feeling. I would say if you've never tried fishing, just try it out, because I mean, what harm can come from it? And it's a lot of fun. Like that feeling of like first hooking a fish and getting to bring it in, it's a great feeling, and it doesn't get old either. So I would definitely recommend it to anyone who hasn't tried it.
As we made our way along, I was interested to get Jim's perspective on what it's like to be a boat captain for these tournaments, and also a father to one of the anglers.
For the Michigan Bass Nation tournaments, you have to basically drive the boat, and your job is safety, and that is it. You can't talk to them, you can't do a whole lot. You can have some coaching time, but they can't be fishing, and you can kind of tell them a little bit. But other than that, it's pretty much they've got to do it all on their own. So you have to get in and practice, try and get everything done during the practices so that when they get out there on the water that they can pretty much do what they need to do. Watching them net the fish and struggle to get that fish is sometimes can be a challenge, but it's fun, and I've enjoyed every moment of it, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know, we've had some successes, we've had some failures, and we've learned from every single moment of bass fishing, so it's been a good time. Nice little guy. Nice eater size, they say, right?
Boat captains, coaches, and sponsors are a big part of the reason why these events have been so successful around the state, and why they continue to grow.
My coach, Mr. Menser, he's an amazing guy. He's always looking for new tournaments and signing us up for tournaments. And he throws a lot of our local tournaments with just our school and other schools in our area. So I just want to say thank you for everything he's done for all of us. And even our sponsors, our team wouldn't be alive without the sponsors that we have. Because, you know, signing up for tournaments, it takes money. So they help us out a lot.
It's always refreshing to see young people enjoying the outdoors. Special thanks to Jim, Rebecca, and Kendall for letting me tag along on a fun day of fishing here in Southeast Michigan.
Fighting good, but...
Well, as you can see, those girls had a ton of fun out there in the water, and that's one of the reasons I love to cover the competitive salmon fishing tournaments here in the state, specifically the ladies' days.
Well, we're gonna start in 123 and maybe work out to 140 and see if we can find cold water. So
Okay.
that's what we're gonna try to do this morning.
Are you going to target lake trout or salmon or a little bit of both?
Salmon, and then we'll put some down low for lake trout and maybe one up top for some steelhead, see what we can find.
How's the fishing been lately?
Not too bad, so we're hoping it gets better with the kinks coming in this month. So.
Well, we got our ace fisherman here today, right?
You got it. We got these ladies here. They're good luck.
Well, it did take us a few hours to find some fish, but the ladies were ready to go. We had a few times where they would tag team the fish, but you know what? That seemed to be working just fine.
Don't forget to pump it. That's going to help a lot. How are we going to do this?
So the ladies were supposed to net their own fish, and that was a bit of an issue today. As you can see by the footage, we all were trying our best to make sure the fish, well, that it actually got in the net.
A little bit more. Keep reeling. Keep reeling.
Oh my god! Woo! That's a fatty! Look at that! Holy smokes! That looks awesome! Good job!
Today we had Heather Grassmid, Holly Gustafson, and Kavy Lennon on board. Now you may remember Kavy from a spring turkey hunt we did with her earlier this year. She was a first-time turkey hunter and had an all-time reaction.
It's pounding really, really fast.
Good job.
Holy smokes! Oh my god! Oh my god! Thank you, Dan. Oh,
Thank you.
no! Oh my god! I saw the hand behind. Oh my god! I'm hyperventilating.
Here, give me that gun before you hurt somebody.
I'm gonna hurt myself with it. Oh my god!
So when Kavy said that her and a few friends were going to be doing a ladies tournament, well, I jumped at the chance. I figured it would be a ton of fun and plenty of excitement. Now Scott works with some of these ladies and just started doing his own charter boat service.
Well, I've been fishing since I was 12 years old. Went out with a gentleman named Dick Griffin, who was a teacher in Wyoming. Kind of got hooked on that, did it through college, and had a smaller boat, and then upgraded to this Pursuit 24-footer, and been fishing out here for 25, 30 years, and just love it. Have a full-time job at Herman Miller, but this is my part-time job.
Well, as a part-time job, Scott has been getting quite a bit of business this summer. And part of the reason is that when you tie into these fish, well, it is a ton of fun.
Wow, we got a little double going.
That's nice. A lot of action in like 2 minutes.
Hold on, there's something there.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Okay. There we go, team. Nice fish.
Oh my god!
Nice
That was
king.
huge!
Yes!
Yes! Oh my god!
Wow.
Nice! You're like the puff on there. I was like,
Nice job, Captain.
woo!
A little crazy, but we got
Yeah,
it
we
done.
got her. We got a mess we got to clean up, but let's go.
Nice job, ladies.
Little double,
That was a
baby.
big one. Oh my goodness. That was
What do you think, young lady?
That was cool. It took 3 of us to bring that baby in.
Now, today we were targeting lake trout on the bottom with downriggers and spin and glows, and then had some lines higher in the water column running spoons and a few meat rigs for salmon and some shallower stuff for steelhead, trying to cover all our options as we searched for fish.
Well, earlier this week, the fish were in 85 to 105, and overnight there was a blow, and we figured the water was warmer, so I started in 130 and worked our way out a little bit and kind of triggered in on between 120 and 140 was our key area to find some fish today. So we were very fortunate to pick up that king pretty late in the day at about 11:15. The girls are a lot of fun, so it's just a good time. Part of the thing I like about bringing people out is getting to meet new people and showing people a good time, because we've got this awesome resource, Lake Michigan, and it's just a wonderful resource to be out on the lake.
Oh, yeah. Take your time. Pace yourself.
I gotta pace myself. I'm not good at pacing.
Well, we weren't setting the lake on fire today, but you know what? We had our 5th fish working its way to the boat. So I had Scott explain just how the tournament would look as we made our way in.
So what's going to happen is we're going to do a weigh-in. The top 5 fish will get weighed in, and we'll figure out where we're on the leaderboard. It's nice that we got 5 fish to weigh in. We've got a nice big king, some decent-sized lake trout, and a couple small lake trout, but we'll just kind of figure out where we're in the pack.
Today, the Ladies' Day had 38 boats in total and perfect weather. I like covering these events for a few reasons. One, it's fun to see folks excited to catch fish. And there are more screams and excitement on a Ladies' Day than most trips on the water. And number 2, it's fun to get folks out that don't do this very often and let them see just how much fun and how many people live and love the outdoor lifestyle. Our crew did well. We took 13th place overall and had a great time. The Big Red Classic is a very well-run event, very good tournament, as are many along our coastlines. If you're looking for a fun day on the water, you may want to look into a ladies' tournament near you, here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Well, in our next story, we're going to show you a competitive shooter. This young lady is as good as anyone at her local gun club.
Just outside the Cedar Springs area, north of Grand Rapids, sits the Red Flannel Rod and Gun Club. Some of the members here reached out to me and told me that I needed to meet one of their shooters, a 14-year-old girl named Lily Knapp. They told me this girl can shoot.
So Tim came to my dad, because I do a lot of hunting. He was like, there's a shooting class, you want to see if Lily wants to go. And my dad asked me about it, and I was like, I don't know, and I almost said no to it. But I decided to go because I had nothing else to do. And I went, and we sat through almost an hour-long class about windage and kestrel and how to read your wind. And then we actually went out. It was really cold too. It was in January, so it was really freezing out. But we went out there and we started shooting. And at first I didn't really understand what I was doing. And then after I did by the second stage, I really liked what I was doing.
There isn't many teenagers doing this kind of thing, and especially a young lady. So I asked Lily what it was that made her take this kind of shooting so seriously.
It's fun. It's really fun, and it's gonna when you first come out here, you're not gonna be good. You gotta just take time. You gotta take. I take all my time, all my free time, just to come out here and practice, and that's all. That's all I do. You just gotta keep practicing.
Tim Nowak is Lily's coach and told me a little bit about how some of this competition shooting works and how they practice.
Well, we'll start I'll show you over here on the stage here. So we start with a cattle guard, and there'll be 5 positions and 2 shots per position. So it's all timed. So you start, let's say here, go 2 rounds, you move to the next 2 rounds, 2 rounds, 2 rounds until you get all 10 rounds done. And you're checking during practice, you're making sure the right knee is up so you have support. And then when you're standing up here, you want to make sure your form is good, so you got steady, so you're not falling over, rocking, or anything like that. You run it, and you pick away at any faults, and then you rerun it and see if you corrected them or not, and then if you run out of time, you got to speed it up. Okay. So then you just keep going over and over and over until you get it down pat.
And what kind of distances is she typically shooting in a competition?
50 yards out to about 300.
Okay. And what caliber rifles does she use?
22 rimfire.
Oh, it's all rimfire?
Rimfire.
Wow.
Yeah, so you gotta dial a lot, there's a lot of holdovers. The wind is real tricky with 22s, even more so than a center fire.
I just got back from a 2-day pro match. I finished 44th out of 72. That's my first pro match too.
And who all shoots in a pro match? Just anybody?
Guys from top 10 in the country.
Wow. Is there many other female shooters?
Yeah.
Anybody your age?
No.
Okay. What do you like about this?
The adrenaline you get from it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So then you're gonna go 0.15, so you're gonna go 0.1 down. Yep, right there. So it's opposite of your normal, because the target's closer. And then make sure you set your parallax.
So Lily was shooting at 180-yard targets, so we moved her up to 50 yards just so that I could see how fast she could acquire a target. It was pretty impressive.
main league is PRS, Precision Rifle Shooting.
And that's a nationwide thing?
Yeah, it's a nationwide. And they just started Rimfire 2 years ago, and they're trying to promote that because the centerfire is such a huge, attraction. They wanted to get some more people, younger people in that can afford it, because centerfire is so expensive. So.
Well, and who knows? Is this a regular 22 long rifle?
Yep, 22 long rifle, 10-22s work. Put a scope on it, come out and shoot.
And she's plinking that thing at 180 yards?
180 yards.
Wow.
Yeah, like nothing. I mean, her form, her shooting ability is absolutely crazy. I mean, it's perfect.
Now, do you have to work on like trigger pull and that kind of stuff?
Everything. Trigger
Everything.
pull, location of targets. You got to be aware of your time. You got to think about your shot before, after. The wind picks up. You got to make a split-second call, like, okay, it's 5 miles an hour. Let's quick hold to the left or right.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden it stops. If you don't pick up on it, you're going to miss the target.
Wow.
That's simple.
Since we had Tim here who coaches shooters, I asked him for a tip for those of us deer hunting with a firearm. What would he recommend?
If you get a bag like this, so if you're shooting out of a blind, so if you have your edge of your blind, you can put the bag right there, put the gun on it, and you're dead steady. That would be anybody that hunts out of blind or a stock hunter walking through the woods, sees a deer, puts it on a branch or whatever, it's dead steady. And that would help tremendously for steadiness.
I have to say it was really fun to see a teenager who loves to hunt and who loves to shoot. If some of this looks fun to you, check in with your local sportsman's club. I bet there are some folks who would love to introduce you to the shooting sports.
Well, to kind of round out this week's show, since we're literally days away from the upcoming bear season, I thought we'd show you what it looks like when a father and daughter hit the woods.
And I came in contact with Dean Hulse last year, and he was kind enough to let us put some baits on his for bear hunting for my daughter. The breakdown of how the hunt went is second night. Well, the first night, my daughter seen 2 black bears. Both of them she passed up. One was a maybe 200-pound boar, and the other was, well, we think it's closer to 300-pound sow. We call her Peggy. She has a foot missing, so she nicknamed her Peggy. And we do have her this year on camera again, same bait site, everything. Second night, I was sitting with my daughter. She shot a 250-pound boar with a gun that my grandfather gave me. 50-yard shot, went about 50 yards and died, so she was really happy, you know.
My Lanta.
Come on.
Here he is. He smells foreign, like Bella.
All bears smell.
But here he is.
Come on, look at me. Are you happy?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Look at his paws.
Yep, pick them up.
Look at that.
Put your hand up by it. Good job, baby girl.
Thanks.
That was 2 days of almost 8 to 9 hours each day.
We went out yesterday from 10 to night. We seen 2. Picked one out, and then today we came out at noon, and he came out while Dad was putting his boots on. Snuck in on us.
Congratulations. Old trusty 30-30.
Well, hey everyone, thank you so much for watching Michigan Out of Doors. Get out and enjoy this time of the year here in our great state. Fall is literally days away. The hunting seasons are creeping up on us, and there's so much good fishing. Get out there, enjoy it, and if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by.
Do you dream of somewhere bigger than your backyard? You can get there with Greenstone. Whether you want to hunt, fish, hike, or just watch the sunset, we're ready to help you own your place in the great outdoors. To learn more, visit greenstonefcs.com.
By Alta Equipment Company, providing sales, rentals, service, and parts because uptime matters. From earth moving to landscaping and light construction, Alta offers over 50 brands across 7 Michigan locations to serve you. More information online or 844-GO-2-ALTA.
By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Quest and Prime bows, manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan. G5 offers a line of archery bows, broadheads, and accessories. On the web at g5outdoors.com.
This moment brought to you by DTE's Clean Vision.
Closed captioning provided by Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, East to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am